Okay, we already did A and B, so now we're going to do C and D. If you invest $3,100 in an account that pays 6.57% interest per year, how much would you have at the end of 13 years if it's compounded? In this case, it's going to be C monthly, when N would be 12, and D daily, when N is 365. We could also do it semi-annually and as 2 bi-monthly. Sometimes you see these. And like I said before, we'll talk about continuous later. Okay, now I kind of already worked these out, but I had a little glitch in my computer, so I couldn't save them. So I've already got this stuff written down, so we'll just kind of go over it. But it's very similar to the first two problems, so we'll just take a look at it line by line. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write down your basic formula that you're going to use for all these problems. Remember, when the value is going up, this is positive. If the value is going down, it's depreciation. It's negative, except we usually don't do depreciation compounded. So this N is usually 1 when we have depreciation. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is N is going to be 12, so you're going to write down your formula with the data in it. So there's $3,100, which is my initial value, or my investment. 1 plus my rate, which was 0.0657, remember we changed that percentage to a decimal, divided by 12, to the 12 times 13 power. And remember, if you do it on the quiz, I need to see these different lines, and we want to put it how we're going to put it in our calculator, so this is how we'll put it in our calculator. $3,100 parentheses 1 plus, and this is going to be the 0.0657 divided by 12. Now that's got to be in a parentheses, because whenever we have a fraction, we've got to put it in a parentheses. If you didn't have the parentheses here, what your calculator would do, it would be add these and then divide the whole thing by 12. So we have to make sure that we have parentheses around the fraction. And caret, and this time, instead of multiplying this out separately, I just put it in a parentheses. That means it's going to be raised to the 12 times 13 power. Now, if you didn't have this parentheses, it would raise it to the 12 power and then multiply the whole thing times 13. That's why you have to use these parentheses. And that's what's nice about these little calculators, is they do have parentheses, as well as the caret. So here we go. Oops, there's my answer. Let's see what we got here. So here's your calculator. Get your trusty little $1.99 calculator, which is a great deal. Okay, 3,100. Parentheses, 1 plus parentheses around the fraction, 0.0657 divided by 12, and is 12. And there's a parentheses around the fraction, and the parentheses, okay, because if we've got 2 open on the left, we have to have 2 open on the right, or vice versa. We got 2 open on the left, so we have on the right, so we have 2 open on the left. And then caret, then parentheses, and then 12 times 13. So 12, and you have to put the times in there. 13, parentheses, and there you go. And if you're not too sure, you could always use the little arrows to go backwards and make sure you got everything in right. So this has even got the little arrows. So these calculators are great. Okay, and then press enter. There's your answer. 7,265.757. Since 7 is bigger than 5, I'll add that, so I get 7,000. And you can see, if you look carefully, you may not be able to see it on the screen there, but if you look carefully on your calculator, this is a comma, that's a point. So the first comma says 1,000. So we got $7,265.76. Okay? All right. And the next one was this, and I'll move it up here so we can get in here. And this is letter D. And again, we write down our formula, and our N is going to be 365. So same principle, $3,100, 1 plus R, 0.0657 divided by 365, all raised to 365, that's my N, times 13. In other words, we're compounding it every day for 13 years, so this is the number of times we're compounding it. 365 times 13. Okay, and then we'll put that in our calculator. This is going to be a little bit longer, because 365. And we got 3,100, parentheses, 1 plus, parentheses, 0.0657 divided by 365, parentheses, 1 around the fraction, 1 around the 1 plus, caret, and it's going to be parentheses 365 times 13 parentheses. So that's how it goes in your calculator. And again, for the quiz problems I give you, I want you to write down 1, 2, 3, 4 things, and that's going to be 4 points. All right? And let's take a look at this. So put this in our calculator. 3,100, parentheses, and then we got 1 plus, parentheses, 0.0657 divided by 365, parentheses, caret, parentheses, 365 times 13, parentheses. So you got all that in your calculator the way you have it here, and then just press enter, and you get 7,282.14. 3, since 3 is smaller than 5, I can just drop it. So there's your answer, 7,282.14, or $7,282.14. Okay. So I hope that all makes sense. So it's pretty easy, but again, we want to be able to write this down, this, and this.